Yo, welcome everyone. Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're joining us from today. You are welcome to Sci Class. This is Sci Class, and we are happy to host you this evening. Welcome to the class of what is not taught in class. Yeah, we are back again, and we are here to do as we used to do. This is a class where you get practical wisdom, practical knowledge, things that you won't see on Google, things that you won't see on Twitter, things that you won't see on, I mean, anywhere, right? This is the class of what is not taught in class. I want to welcome everyone. Okay, we have 10 people right now on this stream. We have 12 persons now. Okay, you're welcome. If you can hear me clearly, just go to the chat session of your YouTube profile, type something nice, tell me you can hear me. Welcome everyone. Welcome the person on your right side, on your left side, right? And also you can just come forward and take the front seats. Don't sit at the back, right? If you can hear me clearly, just type something in the chat box. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Type something in the comment section. Let me know that you are with me. Let me know that you are with me. Okay, I'm expecting to see responses now. Thank you. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. I'm expecting to see our responses. Let me know. Okay, Edith, I can see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can see Edith. Good luck, Edith. You're welcome. You're welcome. I greet you specially. Thanks for joining this session. Thank you, Edith. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Edikan, I see you. You're welcome, Edikan. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Edikan. I see my big boss in the house. My big boss in the house. Thank you so much. It's a very great privilege having you in our midst. Oh my God. I think I have to do I have to take a screenshot or a snapshot and frame it. Like, what? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Good evening and well done. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, okay. This is 8:09 p.m. We do not want to take our time at all. We just want to go straight to the point. Okay, we have Esther. Esther, you're welcome. You're welcome, Esther Idika. Esther, you're welcome. Esther, you're welcome. Good evening, Esther. All right, we don't want to take much of our time. I just want you to do something for me as you are here at this time. Can you just take a screenshot now? Take a screenshot on your phone, take a screenshot on your system, post on your WhatsApp timeline, your Instagram, and tell everyone that we started. I tell you, believe me, I tell you, you are in for an amazing session tonight. You are in for an amazing session and it's going to be mind blowing. It's going to be informative. It's going to be inspiring as well. Right? So you're in for an amazing session tonight. Just take a screenshot, go to your WhatsApp timeline, your Instagram, Twitter, tell everybody that we've started, share the YouTube link, let everyone join. And again, before we continue, do not forget to subscribe on this YouTube channel. As you're doing that, we're going to be waiting for the next 1 minute, and then we're going to start. 1 minute and we are going to start. Okay, Damilare Adroja, you're welcome, Adroja Damilare. I see you. Opeyemi, thanks for joining us. Opeyemi, thank you. Aims up. Okay, proud to be here. Stay home. Well, you're welcome as well. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to be having a 60 seconds break, 60 seconds break, and we'll be back to commence this amazing session. Thank you. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are back from our short break. I hope you were able to grab a glass of juice or a glass of water. Okay, so we just go into it right away. This evening, what are we going to be talking about? Ifedola Poyetunde, thank you so much for joining us. I can see you. You are welcome. You're welcome to this amazing session. So tonight, what are we going to be talking about? Um, we all understand the fact that we are in the world of technology. We are in the ocean of technology. The COVID-19 that came up in year 2019, spanned into 2020, has caused a lot of disruption in the way things are done. Now, we now have terms and concepts like pre-COVID era and the post-COVID era. If we were to do an analysis, or we were to take a survey of the way things were in the post-COVID era and do a comparison or a comparative analysis with the way things are now, we're going to see a huge difference in the way things are today. And I can tell you for sure and categorically that one thing or one major thing that is responsible for this wild gap and wild change in the pre-COVID and post-COVID era is technology. We are in a time that technology has taken over practically. It is no longer news, right? It's no longer news that technology has taken over. Talk of any sector, education, the financial sector, the agricultural sector, education. I mean, mention it, commercial sector, mention it. Technology has taken over. And the interesting thing is that healthcare sector is not left behind. Although the adoption of technology in the healthcare sector is quite slow compared to other industries. And well, the reason is not far fetched from the fact that healthcare is very, very much sensitive than other sectors because it has to do with life, it has to do with life, death, living, and things like that. So there are a lot of cultural biases, there are a lot of reservations about adopting technology into healthcare and acceptance and utilization of technology. But even with this, we've seen a very massive change, a very massive difference, a very massive and a very wild disruption that technology is causing in the healthcare industry. That being said, as healthcare professionals, we need to begin to think that now that technology has come, how do I leverage this? How do I leverage technology for number one, personal development, personal growth, number two, for my career development and career advancement? How do I use technology? How do I leverage technology to optimize my practice? How do I leverage technology to better my practice and improve my patient and client outcome? That's one side. On the other side, oftentimes I get messages in my DM, which is actually the motivation behind organizing this particular webinar. I get messages in my DM on Twitter, on WhatsApp that I want to leave the bedside. I can begin to show us screenshots, but really we don't have much time to do that. I can show us a lot of screenshots. Within the last 2 weeks, I was able to speak with, I got two messages from two different people that they are tired of the bedside. They want to do another thing. They want to even leave bedside completely. They don't want to do nothing again. I was like, what's going on? So what do you want to do? Tech, tech, tech. They want to go into tech. Everybody wants to go into tech. Now, that's being said as well. Going into tech has pathways. Although if some of us begin to share our story, we would tell you that a lot of us, quite a number of us, the guests on this platform tonight, some of us actually stumbled into tech. But then stumbling into tech, we've been able to curate a practical step-by-step pathway, a practical step that individuals that also want to transit into tech can take to have a very smooth and itch-free transition. And that is why we are here tonight. We are here to share with you and to show you the step by step procedure, the practical guidelines, the things you need to see, the things you need to know, the things you need to do to move and transit into tech. I'm still going to be talking more after this session, but in tonight's webinar, we are not going to be taking our time at all. So don't worry, just chill, right? We have two speakers, two amazing guests in our midst. The first guest we are having, who is going to be taking us through this session for the next 30 minutes, is a person of Mr. Dapo Obembe. Mr. Dapo Obembe is a registered nurse in Nigeria and is a full stack web developer, a very good one, experienced one at that. He has, built websites, web applications, software application for both, brands, local, international brands, and is currently doing that. Not like things he has done before. He has done it, he's doing it, and he will continue to do that. And he is here tonight to share with us his experience, to take us through how he has been able to combine being a full stack web developer, being a tech bro, right? I know we like that word, tech bro. How he has been able to combine being a tech bro with nursing practice. He's currently in nursing practice. He's currently a nurse. He currently works as a nurse and he also works as a full stack web developer, right? So he's going to be sharing a lot of experience with us. So I just wanted to get ready, grab your pen, grab your notes, grab a glass of water, sit down, and be ready to learn. The next speaker we are having this evening is the person of our amazing nurse, Inem Etuk. She's a Canadian nurse and she's a nurse innovator. She's also going to be sharing with us basically opportunities for nurses beyond the bedside. If you are looking to leave the bedside and probably you are not considering tech and you want to do other things outside the bedside, Nozinim Etu is going to be taking us through these things. It's going to be sharing with us opportunities and other areas you can dive into as a nurse beyond the bedside. I hope you are excited. If you are excited, just let me know that you are excited this evening. Nozadeye Josephine, you are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. So if you are excited for this power-packed session this evening, just show me some excitement in the comment section. Let me know you are excited to be here. Also, I am Oluwatobi Adewumi. In case you don't know me, I am a data scientist, IBM certified. I am a front-end web developer and also a nurse innovator. I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences as well at the towards the end of this session. So let's dive right in. I'm going to be bringing up now Mr. Dapo Obembe. Mr. Dapo Obembe, you are welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If
Good
you are
evening, Mr.
from
Dapo. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
yeah, thanks for having me, Mr. Latubi Adeomi.
All right. Okay, so everyone, like I said, we are going to have a very good time tonight. For the next 30 minutes, grab your pen again, grab your notebook, and let's enjoy this session together. Mr. Dapo, over to you, sir.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, before first off, I'd like to give thanks to Almighty for making this day a reality for us all. Then I would like to thank Mr. Latubi Adeomi, the founder of Medimat, the co-founder of Care Code and Care City Online for this for inviting me to be a guest speaker on this show today. I thank you so much. I've been following your works even before we got to talk like personally, although we've not met physically. Thanks so much. All right. Good evening, everyone. Once again, good morning, good night, wherever you're from. Yeah, my name is Dakovimbi. I'm a registered nurse. I started as a blogger back then in 2016. Yeah, I could remember vividly. Message tutor was taking us something on digestive system, biliary tract to be precise, and then it, it occurred to me how is there a way I could make money online? Because before then I had no previous knowledge of you know internet. I don't know how internet works. Before then, I really do data subscription because what I need data subscription for to chat on Facebook, to chat on to go to chat on Instagram. Then those are the data subscription I do. But after I asked myself that question, how do I make money online? Then I picked up my phone in the class. Right then, I googled and I saw blogging as one of the options. Then I started blogging the same day. As a nurse, final year student in School of Nursing Ado Ekiti, I started with a free WordPress account. I started, some simple health conditions, a blog about them with free WordPress account. I'm kind of someone that likes to, write about things I know, and then I would love others to know about things I know. So that was how I started. Fast forward to this day, yeah, I'm a full stack developer. So the theme of today is healthcare to tech. 7 must take steps. If you want to transition to technology, if you want to transition to the tech area as healthcare professionals, either you're a doctor, a nurse, lab scientist, physiotherapist, or you can transition to technology. We actually need more of medical practitioners in technology. So imagine if you're having medical calculators developed by those who had no idea of what it means to have a normal body temperature, who had no idea of what it means to have a normal, blood pressure measurement. Imagine we have softwares, calculators developed by them. There will be the gap where if you want to compare it to a medical practitioner who knows the health conditions like the back of their hands, developing or working in close contact with those who are developing medical software that can make carrying out your duty as a medical practitioner easier for you. Yeah. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be sharing some slides with you and then take you through how you can, transition to technology as a medical practitioner. Please let me know in the chat section if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, can you let me know? Mr. Oluwatobi Loba, Mr. Oluwatobi Loba, if you can hear me out to confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, please go ahead. We can see your screen.
All right, all right. Let's get to tech. 7 must take steps to getting started with tech as a healthcare professional. Like I said earlier, I'm Dapo Bembe. I'm a registered nurse and a full stack web developer. Who is this Dapo Bembe? I used to say this. If you haven't read an article I wrote, I love writing. I'm a technical writer. Technical writer in such that I love to write a tutorial guide on step by step on how to do things. And then if you haven't read an article I wrote, you have at one point in time visited a website or a blog I built for an NGO, for a close friend, for someone I really liked. Because if I see that what you are doing is great, you are making great impact in your feed, and we are in close contact, I may end up my way of showing you are doing well is to just have a small or not too complex website for you, to showcase to to further reach out to people that thousands of miles away from you to know about what you are doing. I'm a professional launch, like I said, and I'm a passionate front-end web developer, WordPress developer, web design and development tutor, and I'm a web development mentor. If you need someone to guide you through. I have over 6 years of experience in blogging and search engine optimization. Like I said earlier, I started with blogging back then in April, to be precise, April 2016. It was then I asked myself, how do I make money online? Over 4 years of experience in website design and development. It's been long. I'm someone that is stubborn. If it comes to something I love, if it comes to something I'm passionate about, I'm a stubborn learner. So over the years between April 2016 till now, I have had some certifications in other areas, even apart from web development. I've had certifications from Google as a digital marketer and data analyst, from Meta, that's Facebook, as a front end software developer, from Tech Haba and Ekiti State government is a scholarship for software development training, Udemy, Coursera, and so on. I own Alpha Web Consult, formerly Alpha Web Agency, is a CAC registered agency that is into building digital offices for people, for businesses, for brands. If you want to, we take your business from the branding state till you have a confirmed digital office online. It's kind of office that you don't need to hire someone to write for you. You don't need to hire someone to reply your emails. You don't need to hire someone to do graphic design for you. We do that at the agency. Now, why do you need to transition to tech? Why do you need to transition to tech as healthcare professionals? When we got admission to school of nursing, then we were told it's hot cake. There's money. You don't need to look for jobs so much. Why do you need to transition to tech as an healthcare professional? There's a popular saying that goes that the future is tech, or you can put it, the tech is the future. We are in a digital or technology age. Almost everything can be found online. The few things that cannot be found online, some tech groups or innovators are probably thinking about how they can make that possible for us. Just a few minutes ago, I saw a friend of mine ordering food online. Years ago, that was not possible. It was because of technology. I'm able to transmission live to you now. We're able to connect live via this via this medium we are using because of technology. Right? You're able to know from the UK, from Canada, from Australia. We connect as one, we work together, we share ideas. That wasn't possible years ago. Now technology has made that possible. Now you might have been told that tech is hard. Well, it's not actually hard, but I'm gonna give you some of the reasons why you need to transition. You can transition fully. You can be part-time tech bro. You can be a part-time tech six. And one of the reasons is you need to avoid being left behind. If you are a businessman or you're a medical professional or whatever area of life you are from, if you don't take technology into consideration and if you don't apply technology into what you are doing, before you know it, you have been left behind. The world has gone. You are still crawling while the world has flew away. Now, to transition into technology, you avoid being left behind. You avoid becoming obsolete. And then the second reason is money. You know, like one of my coach said in one boot camp I attended, he said, "Tech money is blood money." You know what it means to have blood money. Yeah, there's so much money in tech. You can make money in tech, and some months ago, I was I was trying to apply for a remote job as a front end front end developer. Uh, let me break it to you. The salary was around 65 to 80,000 pounds for a mid-level, for an intermediate front end developer. That was the salary alone. That was different from the benefits you're gonna get for for your healthcare insurance, the self or personal development bonuses. So imagine making 65 to 80,000 pounds remotely as a tech bro or as a tech sis. Just imagine that. That's second reason why you may need to consider transitioning to tech. And then the third reason is global reach. Global reach. Mr. Oluwatobi is able to transmission this seminar to you. You're right. Probably you are in your city room in the city in United Kingdom, you are in your city room in Canada, you are in your city room in United States, listening, watching this video, watching this seminar. The technology has made it possible for him and made it possible for me to be able to reach out to you miles away. That's one of the benefits of transitioning into tech. Now, you may be a businessman, you may be someone that loves some talents that needs to be shared with the world. You may have stuffs you need to share with the world beyond your reach, beyond your close family members, beyond your friends, beyond your colleagues back then from school. If you need to be able to reach anyone from anywhere at any point in time, you should consider transitioning into tech. And then the fourth point is, making working easier for professionals or profession. Technology has made it so easy for you to, as a professional, attend to clients or patients online without having them traveling miles to get to you. Technology has made that possible. You can actually know the temperature of someone without actually using the ampere thermometer we use then. Technology has made that possible. Technology has gone beyond using only websites, mobile application. Technology has gone far, far, far beyond that. So now the next thing is, there are some tech areas you need to focus on as a healthcare professional. You're wondering, how did I combine tech adequately carrying out my nursing duties? Well, one of the things you should know if you want to transition to tech and you still want to be a full-time nurse, full-time medical doctor, a full-time lab scientist, you need to be able to manage your time. You need to know what you want. Now, when you know what you want, you can't possibly be working 24 hours as a nurse or a medical doctor. No, my colleagues will, my colleagues as a nurse, my nurse colleagues will take locum jobs if they need to earn more money. I do not take locum, not see locum jobs because I need more money. I try to get remote jobs. I'm, I try to freelance using my software development skills, using my SEO skill, using my blogging skill to make more money. No, the difference is they have to go to hospital or whatever the locum section is. I just need internet connection, my laptop in good condition, I environment in my apartment to work. Now, there are some areas you need to focus on that requires coding. In tech, There are some areas that require you to know, you must know how to code. If you don't know how to code, it's not for you. And there are some area that do not require you to code. Area also that require you to know how to code and also not require you to code. Now, some of the tech areas that requires coding are software web development, blockchain technology. I'm sure you know about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the likes, cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology powers cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology is actually far beyond using Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, all those cryptocurrency coins online. Blockchain is far, far beyond. You can use blockchain in health, in fintech, in education, in agriculture. Blockchain can be applied. Now, software or web development. You know, you are probably watching this, you're attending this seminar or this webinar on YouTube. You have tons of mobile applications on your phone, be it Android or iPhones. Now, those your ability to attend this seminar or this webinar on your YouTube is made possible by software developers, software engineers. So those are what they do. And then data scientists, you know, you need to like, okay, how many, if you want to know how to carry out research, and maybe in a hospital setting or in a healthcare setting, you want to know the number of people that react to you using metronidazole, you want to know the age, you can you can consider becoming a, data scientist. You want to know how to make data driven decisions. You don't just want to, okay, make decision by merely observing. You want your decisions to be based on data. You want your decisions to be based on facts. You can consider becoming a data scientist, and that also involves coding. And also some parts of data analysis. I took a data analysis course offered by Google, so I knew it involved coding. Some parts of it involve coding because you may need to use SQL to query your data. You need to use Python. I'm sure at one point in time you've heard of what Python programming language is. You've heard of Python. Python is not the animal snake we're talking about. It's a programming language that is majorly for data analysis, for data science, and it has also grown to be used for web development. And then if you can remember correctly, back then when COVID-19 was in vogue, COVID-19 was the order of the day. We if you are conversant or if you are current, then you'll have seen news or videos of robots attending to occupants of some hotels. I think I saw that video on Prince Agedo's status. It Robot cannot just build itself; it has to be built by someone. And that area of tech also involves coding. You need to know how to you pass instructions to the robot to carry out the activities you want it to carry out. And then machine learning and or artificial intelligence. You know what machine learning is? Artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a skill that most or some of data scientists have, and then artificial intelligence is, artificial intelligence is like this. I need to, I need to write a letter of maybe I need to write a letter to my employer on how to, I need a raise in my salary. I don't know how to begin. I don't know how to put it. There are tools online that are built with AI, artificial intelligence, that can actually help me craft that letter A to Z. All I have to do is to just input my name and that of the company and my employer. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence. That also requires lots of codes. Then application development. I mentioned that earlier. You are using WhatsApp, you are using Instagram, you are using Twitter app. Those ones are being done by Tech Bro or Tech 6, and that also requires coding. And then the area of tech that do not require codings are, product design, that is the UI or UX design. Let me break this down a bit. UI or UX design is also works hand in hand with a front end developer and also a back end developer. UI means user interface. The word interface is just where what you will see when you visit a particular website or application, or how a certain graphic design appeals to you, what you see on a graphic design. That's the user interface. That's the user interface aspect. And then the US, that's the user experience, is how you want the user of the application or that website, or people that are looking at that graphics you made, how you want them to behave. Okay, when you go to the landing page of maybe Fellow Nurses Africa, you want them to click on register, stuff like that is the user experience. And then you can also do user research. You research on the kind of audiences that will be using that particular website or products you want to work on. That includes a user or product design or US UI designer. And then to do this, you don't need any knowledge of coding. You don't need to know how to code. You just need to know how to use some drag and drops software, example Figma. Just need to know how to use them, and then you need to know how to do research. For example, if I come to you as a US UI designer and I told you I want to make a website for nurses where we have questions and answers, the questions and answers on anatomy, question and answer on medical, surgical nursing. If I tell you I want to make a website on that, as a UI UX designer, you'll be able to give me something cool. And then it's from the design you give me. You need to understand the use of colors, the use of font styles. As a UI UX designer, you need to know how to research the kind of people that will be using that particular product. If that sounds like something you can do, you should consider becoming a product designer or UI UX designer. You can also use the word developer for them. Then the second area of tech that do not require coding is project management. If there's a particular project going on, the project needs to be managed. In a project, in a particular project team, if a team want to carry out something, want to do maybe a software, in a normal setting, it's advisable, it's cool in a normal setting to have a project management who will make sure the project is going on perfectly and is in good shape, right? If project management, if managing projects, it's something that appeals to you, and you want to transition into tech and you don't want to go into coding, you may consider becoming a project manager. Although you may need to know, for example, if you want to be managing software projects, project that has to do with building websites, that has to do with building applications, if you want to be a project manager for such industry or for such organization, it is advisable you know how coding works. For example, it's advisable you know about HTML, you know about CSS, you know about JavaScript, you know about Pythons, or you know about the programming language or languages that that particular organization uses to build web application or software for his or her clients. Now, knowing doesn't mean that you're gonna be carrying out the the activity of coding yourself. You are a project manager. You just need to know. Okay, you just need to know that okay, if you inspect my work as a front-end developer, you know that okay, that boy is working as he should. But if you know nothing about HTML, you know nothing about coding as a project manager, it will be easy for me to be easy for me to just scope you, to lie to you. Whereas I've not done anything, I may tell you I've done so much. See, I've done so much. So when you want to become a project manager in that regard, it is advisable, you take crash courses on, basic programming languages. So you have idea of how that developer is working or what that developer is working on. So it also gives you idea of how you can motivate. Now, as a manager, you need to, if the people you are managing are not motivated, the job or the activities they're doing, their morale will not be high. So you need to keep their morale high. You need to know their pain points. You need to have yourself in their shoes. So that's it about project management. If that sounds like something you can do as a tech person and you don't want to, okay, don't want to be coding, you can consider becoming a project manager. And then website design. Okay, there's a difference. You are probably asking what's the difference between web design and web development, right? So there's a difference between the two. Web development is, you know, web development has to do with code. You want to develop a website. It will start from code. Everything will be coded from scratch. Everything will be coded from scratch. And then in a normal setting, as a web developer, you are either a front end web developer or a back end web developer or a full stack. When you are a full stack, it means you can work on the front end of a web or application. You can also work on the back end of a web or application. So a website designer who works majorly, they deal most of the time with graphical, the appearance of how a website looks. And then if you want to become a website designer, you don't want to be into coding. You can see that I asterisk this point, this tech area that do not require coding, the web design. You can use softwares like WordPress, Wiz, Shopify, and all. These software I mentioned are what we call CMS, content management system. Y- They are drag and drop software that you can use to, design a simple to not so complex website. If you do not know how to code, if or you are not ready to learn how to code, where it happens that if you know how to code and you want to know how to use WordPress, for example, it will be so easier for you. Your design will be different from someone who does not know how to code at all. But then if you do not know how to code and you are a graphical person, you are something you love how things look. You love to make things look nice. You are good with color combinations. You are good with using the right image for the right caption. You should consider becoming a website designer. You can design blogs, you can design corporate websites without knowing how to code. That is possible because of these CMS softwares, these content management software like WordPress. And WordPress is the most popular content management software. And as a matter of fact, it powers more than 30% of the websites you visit, or 30% of the websites on the internet today. So that's to tell you people are actually using it. I'm actually using it to build websites for organizations for businesses. And then to make sure I'm not so confused, if you are, there's also a difference between a WordPress designer and a WordPress developer. WordPress designer is someone that do not need to know how to code before having a great website. Like I said, you can install a theme, edit, and you make it look exactly as you want it to look, or exactly as your client wants it to look. And then a WordPress developer is someone that knows how to code already. Someone that can you know that can turn a static HTML or CSS website into a WordPress theme. I- I'm sure you understand what I mean. A WordPress developer, 90% of his or her work will be on coding, coding, coding. While a WordPress designer do not need to know how to code. He or she just needs to know how to use the drag and drop software to make a great design. And then the fourth area that do not require coding is, video editing. If you can edit video perfectly, you don't need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to code before you can, make your money as a tech bro or tech sis. And then graphic designer, the flyers that accompany this program was done by a graphic designer. So that do not require you to know how to code. If stuff like that inspires you or interests you, you want to become a tech person and you don't want to focus on coding, 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 you can also consider being a graphic designer. And then blogging or vlogging. You've heard of Linda Ikeji. Okay, that's our mother in blogging when it comes to blogging in Nigeria and Africa. You've heard of Niger Loaded, Too Exclusive, Bella Niger, and the likes. Fellow nurses, Niger nurses, and the likes. Those are blogs. Those are blogs where you get the right information at the right time. Now, if blogging, if for example you know how to do A, B, C, D, you don't want to keep it to yourself and you want to share with the world. You want to share it with people beyond your WhatsApp contacts. You want to share it with people beyond your Twitter, your Instagram contacts. You should consider becoming a blogger. When you have a blog, you may need to know how to build one. Then, if you want to know how to build one, you can become a website designer or just know simple theme editing. You can use Blogspot, you can use WordPress. Now, when you become a blogger, you'll be able to share information. And I found out that like I said earlier, I'm a blogger. Um, I'm a blog tutor. I'm an SEO expert. So it, it do happen that bloggers, newbie bloggers do come to me for SEO advice, for blog design and stuff like that. And I found out that some of them are writing about it. They're writing about disease conditions. And these people are not, they've not been, apart from secondary school, if their secondary school was being a science student, apart from that, they have no experience or they have no knowledge of how the earth's conditions are. They don't know how they really work. They don't know the signs and symptoms. But I found out that there are people writing about it, and it also occurs to me that nurses, doctors, lab scientists that should be that should be at the front when it comes to health blogging, like blogging about health or medical conditions, are not doing so. They are they are so busy teaching, they are so busy treating patients in the hospital, clinics, and the likes. But you also find out that people are into self medications, and before you know it, they have slight headache and they go to Google to type in what to use for my headache. And we both know that the headache might not be ordinary headache. But now when they Google and they go to the browser, type in how do I treat headache or what's the medication for headache, and they found results. It happens that Google do not care if the writer or if the owner of the blog or the owner of the website is a medical doctor, is a registered nurse, or lab scientist, or an engineer, or an artist. Google does not care. Google just wants to, give out the best results. Now, imagining someone like that trying to find a cure for his or headache, stumbling on website or a blog article that's written by a non-medic person. So imagine the kind of damage person may be causing to him or herself. Now imagine we have hundreds of people like that, thousands of people like that. So that's why it is important if you are someone that loves writing, if you are someone that loves making videos, because it seems making videos is a bit easier than writing. If you are someone that loves making videos on medical conditions, you should consider blogging or vlogging. Vlogging means having a YouTube channel where you share useful health information. You are educating the public via your YouTube channel or via your blog. If you're someone that loves to share share information with people like that, and you don't want to involve coding in your line of work, you can consider being a blogger or vlogger. And then virtual assistant. Now, we have organizations, we have medical organizations all across the globe. Now, as a virtual assistant, your virtual means you'll be assisting the organization or the company or the business or the brands online. You'll be helping the business or the brands to maybe craft letter, to replies to their emails, to do maybe a simple graphic design for business promotion, to handle their social media accounts. If that sounds like something you can do, you should consider being a virtual assistant, because virtual assistant actually makes the work of these employers that have websites that are becoming big easier. Virtual assistant is something you can do remotely. You can be doing your 9 to 5 healthcare job while still being a virtual assistant, and there are lots of benefits attached to it. You don't necessarily have to be at work to do your work. You can work from anywhere. So those are the benefits of being a tech person or tech bro or tech sis, as you may like to put it. You can actually work remotely. You can work on site if that's what you want, and you can also work remotely and off site. Now, and then to the main point of today, the 7 must take steps to make if you want to transition to tech as an healthcare professional. If you still wish to keep practicing as a healthcare professional, tech career shouldn't stop you. That's the mistake most of us made, or most of us will make if we are not, coached or mentored the right way. If if you want to do something like transitioning to tech as an healthcare professional, as a medical doctor, as a nurse, is it's not for you to just quit your medical or nursing job and start learning afresh to become a software developer or UI UX designer. Don't make that mistake. Instead, you should consider the healthcare areas. You should consider the problems. For example, if you're a nurse, consider problems nurses are facing that can be solved with technology. And then when you know these areas, you can then consider the skill set you need to acquire to be able to solve this problem. As a medical professional or as a doctor, consider the problems your patients or fellow professionals are facing and how you can use technology to make their work easier or to make healthcare more accessible to the masses. Now, these are the steps you should follow or you should consider if you want to transition to tech as an healthcare professional. The first step is you need to know thyself. You need to know who you are. What can you do? Like what are your passions? What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? What interests you? You need to know what interests you. Well, people may say like we said in a coding boot camp some months ago, and the guy teaching us was asking what motivates you. Most of us said money motivates us to become a tech bro or tech sis. Money makes us want to learn how to become a software developer. Well, that's cool. It's good if money motivates you, but if that's the only thing that motivates you, you're gonna stop halfway. It's not a mere saying, because I know we were more than 50s that started the boot camp, and we are now up to 25 that ended the boot camp. And presently, I'm not even sure if we are up to 10 that are still, pushing to become better and better. It's not actually about the money in tech that should be your motivator. It's about knowing what you want as a person, what interests you, what you can do, your weaknesses, your strengths. Then when you consider them, consider how they go in, consider how you can, okay, they go in line with that area of tech you want to specialize in. Is it a software developer or is it a UI UX designer you want to become? Now, when you know who you are, it is important to know who you are. Okay, let me use myself an example. I'm someone, you know, mm, from my upbringing, I didn't have the opportunity of attending tutorials on how to operate computer or how to operate laptops. I wasn't opportune, or I was not so fortunate to be able to do that while growing up. But then I'm someone that love to. I want to know how this thing works. I want to know how this thing is being done. I love technology. Well, if you say I love technology more than earth, you are not actually lying. You are not lying. Someone that loves to share things I know with the world. I'm someone that loves to help people like me with what they are doing. For example, when I was when I was 100% to blogging, I had to like switch my niche from writing about healthcare to writing about how I can help fellow bloggers. How to do this on your blog, do that on your blog, do this on your blog. And then that kind of step, that decision made me want to become better and better, made me want to know how to design websites. And now, when I was comfortable with how to design websites, I want to know how to develop a website from scratch. That's kind of person I am. I Tech is something I'm passionate about, something I'm interested in. I want to know how this works. I want to know how I can assist you. Okay, you are someone with a brand, a global brand, you're someone with a business. I want to be able to make your business easier for you using technology. Now, when I'm able to make your business easier for you, I'm sure the money will come because money follows value. If you don't have anything to offer to make the money that you're so passionate about, will be so difficult. So that's the kind of person I am. And then the second step is, like I said earlier, I already mentioned this. What's missing in the medical profession as a healthcare professional, as a nurse, as a doctor, as a lab scientist? What's missing? How do you want to come in to take care of the problem? How do you want to come in to, fill in the gap of that thing that's missing? This is an example. While we were in hospital, I'm sure most of us, watching or listening, are medical practitioners. You notice that some people that comes to the hospital to for medical checkup or for healthcare attention, uh, there are two groups of people: people that are able to struggle their way in, and people that are too weak to even struggle. And let's use the case of outpatient department, and in maybe in teaching hospital, we have lots of patients in teaching hospitals. Now let's use the outpatient department as an example. You see that most people that come there, most of them that will be attended to, most of them are not, most of them do not have healthcare condition that require so urgent attention. And then people that require urgent attention are suffered in the mercy of people that they are, the conditions they have can be taken care of just by talking to them, just by listening to what they have to say, just by reassuring them, or just by giving them some placebos. Some are like that, okay, they don't really need to visit the hospital before they can get medical attention or before their health problem can be solved. While some need to be in the hospital before their problem can be solved. And these people that need to be in the hospital suffer because they are not as agile as people that are not that sick. Let me put it that way. They are not that sick to seek attention, because when you come to settings like that in our patient department where there are hundreds of people, trying to see the medical doctor, trying to, get their medical attention. What if, what if there is a kind of innovation or something that can help to reduce the, congestions in a place like that, where okay, people that do not really need urgent medical attention can visit online and then have their problem solved. While people that really need to see the doctor or the nurse, or that really need to visit the hospital, can actually go there and the congestion will be reduced. That's just an example of what's missing. How do you want to come in? Because when that is done, you will be able to reduce the workloads of nurses, doctors in the hospital. Imagine doing five blood pressure or vital signs of hundreds, thousands of people, whereby maybe more than half of them do not really need to visit the hospital. So that's the second step. You need to know what's missing in your feed. How do you want to come in? And then the third step is you need to choose a tech skill, either the one that requires coding or not. Now, what you discover is missing will determine the kind of skill you may want to learn or develop. It could be software engineering, it could be robotics, it could be data science, it could be UI UX designer, it could be vlogging, it could be video editing. These skills work hand in hand. For example, if you have a business, with a global reach, maybe an healthcare organization, you're not probably going to hire one single employer to, handle the video editing for you. You're not going to be the one doing the vlogging or handling your YouTube channel yourself. You're not going to be the one, you know, developing the website yourself. You're not going to be the one doing the product design or whatever product you want to unveil. Now, when you discover what's missing and the area that interests you, and when you know who you are, you can then choose a skill, coding or not coding. You don't need to be scared of the word coding. Well, let me address it that way. Let me address it this way. I find out that people love to go into the areas of tech that do not require coding more than the area of tech that require coding because it seems coding is hard. For me to start coding, to learn how to code a website from scratch, is too hard. Can't do it. I would love to ask you this question. If you believe coding is hard, I would love to ask, when you got your admission to maybe nursing school or medical school, the first year you got your admission, did you start treating patients? Or during your first year, know all the did you know all the disease conditions you know now if you're already practicing? I'm sure your answers are no, because you don't get admission as a medical student, and your first year you already know how to operate, you know how to do appendectomy. You don't get to do that. It's a gradual process. It's something you need to take from the very basics, and then you learn from basics to a greater level to another level till you become a pro. Like I said, you don't become you don't become a better medical doctor, a better nurse. The same year you gain admission to your medical or your nursing school. That's how coding technologies, you get to learn it from the ground up. You don't try to miss the step. When you do, it's gonna seem as something that is hard. Now, when you choose a tech skill you want to learn, then you need to connect with a coach or a mentor or have a paid course. It's so
Oh, sorry,
important.
Mr. Kapo. Can you hear me, sir? Sorry for cutting in.
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry for cutting in. We need to wrap up this session in 3, 4 minutes. Yes,
All right,
sir.
no problem, no
Thank you,
problem.
sir.
Now, the fourth step is you need to connect with a coach or a mentor, a paid or have a paid course. It will be so easier for you to just go online, get a free course on YouTube, on maybe how to become a UI UX designer. And sometimes most of the videos are 3, 4, 5 years ago, and then you'll not be able to like ask the YouTuber the burning question you have. And then if you ask the question on YouTube, imagine someone having millions of subscribers with thousands of comments on the video. Imagine him giving you the attention you need. That's why you need to connect with a coach or a mentor or have a paid course. Automatically, when you buy a course, the person is going to give you some attention or the attention that you need. And then don't overlook the power of mentoring or having a coach, either in becoming a nurse or in transitioning to tech or in becoming anything you want to be. You can't afford to overlook the power of having a coach or a mentor. And the fifth step is you need to give yourself time to learn and practice. The When you are coming to tech, the whole thing is in learning and practicing. You can watch someone, do skateboarding. You can keep watching me coding in HTML, CSS, and the likes. Okay, you can see me doing stuff like that, but if you don't really practice it yourself, you just be deceiving yourself. You need to learn and then practice, because it is in practicing that you are actually becoming better. Because when you practice, you face problems. If you do not give up, you skate through the problem, you become better. And then the sixth step is you need to solve real life problems. How do you solve real life problems? You need to build projects, either as a software developer, as a UI, UX designer. You need to, in solving real life problem, you need to like build projects that are in line with with your skill, with your tech skill. You need to build projects, because the more projects you build, the more better you become, the more the world know who you are. And then the seventh step is you need to sell yourself. You need to sell yourself. Someone that's not 10 times, that does not have 10 times the IQ you have. You find out that they're actually making huge, they are making waves, they are making impacts, because they're not afraid to tell the world what they can do, even if they are not that good at it. You need to sell yourself. You need to let people know what you can do, what you are doing, and what you have done. You need to make noise on your social media accounts. You need to connect with like minds. It is when you sell yourself that, okay, I know this guy is a data scientist. If I need someone that needs a data scientist, I'll be able to refine. So if I need a data scientist myself, I'll know who to call. You need to put yourself out there. And is the that is it, guys. That's just a tip of how you can transition into tech as a healthcare professional. Then if you have a question or two, I will be willing to answer your question. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this night.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dapo. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking us on this very informative and eye-opening journey. I must say that it was really informative. You really took your time to break it down for us. There was
You're
no rushing
welcome. You're
down. You
welcome. You're
just
welcome.
like you're just ensuring that everyone is on the same page with you and everyone got what you're trying to say. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to tap from your wealth of experience this evening. Say
Thank
our
you for thanking me.
Yeah, our people are saying thank you. Our people are saying thank you. They
Yeah,
say
you're
thank you.
welcome. Temitope Adeoye.
All right. I think so that we can move very fast. I think we are going to take questions after the whole session, and if probably you are not no longer with us, we'll be able to send the questions across to you and get the answers across to the uh, people asking the questions. Thank you once again, Mr. Dapo. All
Yeah,
right.
thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone, for staying with us so far, staying with us so far. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to get out of your face, right? I hope you are learning. I hope you are getting something. If you are learning, let me know. Type "I'm learning" in the comment section. Let me know if you are learning. Right. In the next 30 minutes, we'll get out of here. And remember, I told you there is a very massive gift for everyone on this channel. So please don't go. Stay with us till the end. In the next 30 minutes, we'll get out of your face. Don't go. Wait for your gift before you go. Right. Okay, now I'm going to move on to our next guest very quickly. I'm going to move on to our next guest, and that's the person of Nurse Inem Etuk. She is a nurse innovator and she is a frontier in exploring opportunities beyond the bedside. Right? If you are a kind of person that seeks to look at other areas beyond the bedside or diversify your attention beyond what you are currently doing as a clinical nurse. I think it is your time now to listen to North Inem Etuk. No, now, you're not going to be hearing just tech alone. You're going to be hearing more of innovation. You're going to be hearing more of other areas in nursing that you can look into if you are not that bedside kind of person, right? So I want everyone to join me as I welcome on board Nurse Inem Etuk, and for the next 15 minutes thereabouts, she would be taking us through another awesome journey. Nurse Inem, good to see your beautiful face this evening.
Hi, thank you.
I know
Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
it's afternoon over there, so let me say good
Yeah,
afternoon.
anyone.
Yeah, you're
Good
welcome.
evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then we are so glad to have you. We're so glad to have you. All right, so let's just drive it home very quickly. Can you just tell us briefly about yourself, what you do, and where you are joining us from, Ms. Inem?
So my name is Nas Inem, and I'm a Nigerian registered nurse. I am currently in Canada, and I'm a caregiver in Canada. I haven't written my NCLEX yet, although I have the authorization to do so. I just haven't written it yet. I worked for a couple of hospitals before I left Nigeria, or before I left the clinical settings. I started with a military hospital, and then I went to a pediatric neonatal hospital. And well, we all know the problem with bedside. I mean, they stress you and they don't pay you to compensate that stress. And it was taxing on me because I was working 18 hours, 15 hours, and at the end of the day, the pay was nothing to brag about. So I left and started internship with ExxonMobil. This is their graduate nurse internship program for a year. I actually did it. It's occupational health. It's not bedside per se, but I still attended to patients, right? I still attended to their employees and stuff like that. And then I just felt like I wasn't. That was when I started feeling tired. Actually, I felt like I wasn't doing something. I felt like I wanted to do more, and COVID happened, right? And everybody went home. We went home. We continued to work from home, and one thing led to another, and I was diagnosed with early onset arthritis, and that was when I knew that my time in clinical nursing was over. Because I mean, I know that there are older nurses who get home with arthritis and stuff like that, but I was just 26 and I had arthritis. So I quit my job. I took like 6 7 months to stay at home, just taking care of my legs, my knees, and trying to just take care of myself. And then somebody put on Twitter a link to health um telemedicine app, HealthTech startup. And it was just something about, how you can own your own practice and stuff like that. And I'm running away from clinical. So I thought this could be an opportunity for me. And I applied. And for some reason, the owner liked me or whatever I was saying during the interview. And he invited me to work for them as a clinical nurse navigator. That was how I started my health tech journey per se, or remote nursing journey. That was how I started it. I didn't do anything too special except recognizing opportunity and actually like going for it because I knew what I wanted and what I wanted to do in nursing. Yeah, and then I also felt like I wasn't doing so much in Nigeria because in as much as you can earn 150, 200K, Nigeria takes a lot from you. Everybody's billing you. At the end, you have nothing left in your pocket. So I wanted like stability. I wanted more money. I wanted like higher things. I needed possibilities. And the only way I could get it was to change my location. And then I started a Canadian journey and I left this year. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. I think I I don't know. I need to jot some things down, even from this very short story that you just shared. Really, you've really touched a lot of things just within how many minutes here, right? Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. So while you were speaking, you talked about the fact that you were able to you didn't really do much. You were able to, the only thing you really did was being able to, number one, know what you want, like Mr. Dapo rightly, educated
Yeah.
us in the previous session, knowing what you want, and you were able to identify opportunities when they came around, and of course, being able to tap into it. So, very quickly, what would be your advice to someone watching us right now, or that would be watching this session later? What would be your advice, or what would be your word to them in maybe navigating or exploring opportunities beyond the bedside?
The first thing I would say is to know yourself. Like Mr. Dapo rightly said, you actually have to know yourself because if we grew up, nothing is kind of like in the box. That was what we are taught in school. It's a particular thing for everybody, bedside. So this is something that is ingrained into you. So if you think you want to leave it, then you need to know yourself. It's not all that rosy out there either. I mean, you may make the money, you may meet new people, have new things, but it's not as rosy as people think it is. So you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and then you need to know what area of nursing is going to complement that, your strengths and your weaknesses. Um I like adrenaline rush. I like bloody scenes. So I could go for ER, right? I hate ICU. I mean, no offense to anybody in ICU, but I don't like that slow, just that slow movement at work. So this is me knowing myself and knowing what I can and cannot do, right? And if you put me in the ICU, I will just get burned out. So you need to know what you can do and what you cannot do. For me, that is the first step. I actually had a list of things I'll just list out and tick and cross off, like this is what I can do and this is what I cannot do, and get rid of that notion that you must start with med surge when you're leaving school. That's why you need to know yourself. I am a very fast learner. I adapt very well. So I started in the ER actually. That was my first specialty. And I believe I learned a lot in that 1 year I spent in the ER than I would have if I had started in the medical ward or the surgical ward. So you need to know yourself. You need to know what you can do and then go for it. Then secondly, you need to expand in your knowledge. There's a whole lot of roles, there's a whole lot of specialties, there's a whole lot of things you can actually do in nursing. I made it my mission to actually find out every single thing. I have a list of over 100 roles actually. Like I made it my mission because people aren't aware of this. There are so many things you can do that is not medical, surgical, ICU, ER. There's a lot of it. The only problem is some of those things are actually not really being done in Nigeria, but no one is stopping you from actually being the first to do it. That is where innovation comes in. That is where leadership comes in. Be the first, bring that change, the change you want to see, right? Be that thing. Then another thing is connect with people. Know people, find people who are doing what you want to do and connect with them. What you want to do, I mean, you're young, you still have years ahead of you. You may change your pathway later on in life, but if you know you don't want to be at the bedside, find people who are doing things outside the bedside, connect with as many of them. That's when you start having options. You can only make a choice when you have options, right? So you need to find people doing this thing, connect with them, network with them, find the groups they are inside, find out how you can join those groups, stay there, connect with other people too. That way you're expanding your network. Okay. And that is something I try to do a lot. One person I really admire, I don't know if he's on this call, but I really admire Prince Will. So I stalked him a lot on Twitter. He's not that active on Instagram, I don't know. But I stalked him on Twitter and LinkedIn, right? And then I found out whatever group he's doing. And another thing is, do not be afraid to invest in yourself, even if you have to pay for it. So Prince will organize like shows and webinars, 5K, 10K, and I will pay for it and enter that group that Prince Will is inside. That was my goal. Okay, so my goal was to get close to Prince Will, see what he's doing, see what he's learning, see where he's hanging out, and see how that can help me in my own path. And within the time that I joined Prince's first group and now, I can say that I've gone a long way, a really, really long way, a really, really long way in that. Now, Prince is someone that I can message. I have his personal number now. And look at where that has gotten me. So do not be afraid to invest in yourself. Save for it, invest it, get into these groups these people are doing. Yeah. You are muted.
All right, I can see that. Thank you. I need to update my notes again. I need to update my notes. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, this is very, very insightful. Talk about knowing yourself. And one thing that caught my attention again in what you just said is, do not be scared to invest in yourself. And sincerely, nurses, Nigerian nurses, nurses generally, this is something we need to learn. This
Yeah.
is something we really, really need to take note of. A lot of us are actually very scared to invest in ourselves, especially when we hear the fact that you have to pay a certain amount of money. If you should upload a flyer for an event or for a training now, the first question that a nurse will come into your DM and come to ask is it free?
Yeah, that's true. And to cut you
Really?
short, right?
Yeah,
Um, I understand where they are coming from. I mean, the nursing salary for some people is not that great to even
yeah.
remove money to invest, right? But this is like your lifetime. Think of it of a lifetime of satisfaction. My first investment was, I can't remember how much it was in dollars, but I paid for it in dollars, and they took about 31,000 naira from my account. And it was a course on crafting your dream nursing membership. I mean, the name alone was so fascinating. I was like, what is going on here? It wasn't from someone in Nigeria, it was from someone from abroad. And then I went through it and had like a mind shift change. And I started seeking them out, both Nigerians and people abroad. And if it's something that appeals to me, I pay for it. If it's for me to go and borrow money from my parents, I would borrow and pay for it. And it actually really helps. It helps you with your mindset. When I
Yeah.
said I recognize opportunity, one way you can recognize opportunity is by taking courses, reading books. They expand your knowledge, right? That is how you can recognize an opportunity, because you know that this is how this thing is, and then you're seeing it play out in front of you, real life, and then you go for it. That's how people say, oh, she was lucky, she was this, but you had already done the foundational work. Yeah.
That's a very true. That's very true. Actually, there was a time, I think some few months ago. I've taken a lot of courses that I can't even begin to say. Just some few months ago, like two, I think about a month ago, I still paid for a, I think a 2 or 3 hours training of 40,000 naira. 40, I finished making that deposit for that training, and I had to look at myself like, guy, guy, see what you just did. You are
Yeah.
going to sincerely drink Gary and eat agbado for this thing you just did. But then, of course, I knew what I gained from that training. It can never leave me. And I know the opportunities, the networks, and the kind of mindset shift that I've had from that training. So I think it's a good time again to encourage nurses. If what you are looking to is, see, it's not just about leaving the bedside. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just about getting extra source of income. Even if you get extra source of income, if you leave the bedside and your mindset is not exposed to some things, you are likely still going to get frustrated. You're going to get tired, and of course, you're on your journey to looking for the next thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
On your journey to looking for the next place to go. So it's really going to be helpful if you can, key into these webinars, paid, free, see what they are doing there, hear what they have to say, learn from people that have gone ahead of you, and of course, connect and network with people in that part as well. And that's going to really go a long way. Yeah. Before I let you go, Inem, I understand that you need to rest from the very long night shift. Just this last question for you. Did you care to give us probably a list or a number of areas that nurses can look into? Well, nurses that are not interested in the bedside, maybe there are some specific areas you think that they would be able to do well in. Do you care to give us something like that?
Um, I have my lists scattered everywhere, and I usually, there was a time I did a 5-day email series or something, and what I did was I divided it into four different areas: specialty nursing, alternative careers, um non-health careers, and then business. So for specialties, I mean, there's a lot of them. You have like cardiac nursing, clinical research, enterostomal therapy. You have wound care. You have chronic care. You can further divide it into hypertensive care, diabetic care. And what I said was the trick for this is to just nurses are problem solvers. That's what we are. We are naturally problem solvers. So the trick is just to look at the human system as a whole. It is complex, right? You have the brain, neurosurgery, you have the eyes, you have the nose, you have mouth, that's dental, optometry, just look at it that way, and then it can pick a specialty from there. So that's how I see it. Look at the human system. um we have diseases that affects people. How can you help in curing this disease? There's diabetes, there's hypertension, there's heart failure, separate all that. There's respiratory care for those who have to be on ventilators and all that. So that's the specialty nursing. It's going to be too long for me to list all, but you can follow that method to get it. Just look at the human system as a whole and then separate it into different components. Each of those parts of human system makes up a specialty. So you can go into that. Yeah. Then the next one is like alternative careers that are not specialty where you have to come into contact with patients or whatever. So you can have like case management, you can have home care, you can have clinical nurse navigator. That was the role I had with the health tech startup. So you're just like the middleman between the patient and the company, and then the doctors, help them navigate the platform, their health, give them resources for that. We have informatics. It can be health informatics, nursing informatics, EMR and all that. Then we have documentation specialist. I don't know if there's something like that in Nigeria, but I mean, you can do something like that. So you're making sure that the documentation complies with the law, right? HIPAA. And then you query the doctor's notes. You make sure that their documentation is complete. The nurse's documentation is complete. Okay. You're making sure that all that is in place. There is utilization review. It's like a case review. You're reviewing the patient as a whole, the clinical picture of the patient, and the care action, finances, support system, housing, all of that stuff. And then you're incorporating it into the care plan. So that's what you're doing. We have nurse educators. You can be an educator if you like teaching. You can teach in schools, you can teach different things. If you know how to help somebody manage hypertension very well, you can teach that. You can be an educator for that. You can also be a consultant for that. As a nurse, you're already an expert because you have that knowledge that people do not have. You just have to know how to key into the knowledge you have and use it, provide value to people, and then you will get what you want in the process, right? There's also legal nursing. You can help with litigations, malpractice, and all of those stuff in the workplace. I'm sorry, I'm just looking around because all my lists are scattered everywhere. You have ambulatory care. You can do that also. So I've been planning to actually compile all these lists into one folder, but like I said, I have like thousands of them, and I want to just arrange them into different what the categories. Yeah. So
Categories, yeah.
yeah, I should be able to do that before November is over, and then I would give it out. Yeah, I would also let you know about that.
All
Then
right.
we have the third one is non-health, careers outside health. It's different. You can do something in law, you can do something in finances, you can do something in agriculture, you can do basically anything. Okay, nobody is limiting you. If you want to bring health into what you're doing, you can always do that. You just have to find that unique angle to do it. Okay, if you're a nurse and you like budgeting, you know how to budget, you know how to plan your finances and all of those stuff. I mean, you can pick a very good fintech company. I wouldn't say the traditional banks because, but you can pick a fintech company. From there you can sign on deals with them, and then you can come teach other nurses. I shouldn't be saying this online, but I'm really like, I make money, but I'm poor with managing money. So it's something I'm learning. But if I see somebody who does that and she says she's a nurse, she knows how to manage her finances, I will relate better because I feel you know what I'm going through, you know what I make and all that. So there's always a way you can incorporate what you are doing into health if you want to do that, or you can stay away from health if that is your plan. And like Mr. Dapo said, you can also look at those tech roles, product management, project management, marketing, sales, technical writing. All of those things are also things you can do, and then you can start your own business. It doesn't, when you mention business, people think you have to open a hospital. You do not have to open a hospital to have a business as a nurse. You can have your clinics, you can have like online things, you can do a webinar business. You can there's a nurse that does this fruits clinic
Yeah,
therapy,
the
use this.
fruit snobs.
That's a business,
The
right? There
fruit
are nurses
snobs.
who do IELTS. That's a
Yeah.
business. You don't have to have a physical hospital to say you are running a business. So you can do that. And that's where innovation comes in. I'm very passionate about innovation because I believe that nurses are problem solvers. That is our role. Forget passion and calling or anything. If you look at Florence Nightingale, she's the mother of nursing. She was the one who innovated the hand washing, hygiene, and all that because she saw a problem, she solved that problem, and she got a reward for it. That is your calling. Okay, your calling is not to be slaved at the bedside. Your calling is to find a problem, solve that problem, and get your reward for it. Okay, that's how I see the whole thing. So yeah.
Oh, oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Inem. Like, I'm so loaded. I think that there are a lot of ideas flying through my head right now that I can't even contain. Yeah, thank you so much for this session, Inem. Okay, lastly, I said lastly the other time, but it's as if I should keep engaging you. And trust me, I have a lot of things to ask, but I think I will do that at the back end. And maybe probably we'll look at other times to get people here to learn more from you. So what would be your last word or maybe your last advice for people watching us now?
My last advice would just be to come out of your comfort zone. That's my last advice. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. So come out of your comfort zone and do that. Take that risk. If it fails, nothing is going to happen to you. You're just going to find out one less thing you need to do. If it fails, you're just going to learn from it and go. I'm just going to leave you with one quote by Alvin Toffler, and he says that the illiterate of the 21st century is not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So come out of your comfort zone, learn new things, or learn whatever it is you need to unlearn and relearn new things for the greater good. That's my advice.
Wow. Oh my God. My mind is blown right now, really. I think I'm going to have a personal consultation with you. I don't mind. You can send me your invoice. I'll be ready to pay. So just have an interaction with you. Thank you so much, Nurse Inem. I believe that if you've learned something from Nurse Inem this evening, can you just show some gratitude in the comment section? Let us know that you've learned something, you've gotten one value or the other from Nurse Inem this evening before she leaves. Thank you so much, Nurse Inem. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us in side class, and we believe that we will be able to, get across to you again anytime we need you. Thank you so much, Nurse Inem.
You're welcome.
All right, all right. I hope you are enjoying side class so far. Okay, before we continue, we're going to take a 60 seconds break. 60 seconds break, and we'll be back for the last session. This last session, you don't want to miss it. You surely do not want to miss it. In this last session, I'm going to be taking you through, I'm going to be opening your eyes. I'm going to give you a Google, like a vision glass, a vision Google, to see some things that are actually around you, but you've not been seeing, which could be the difference between where you are now and where you are going. So you really do not want to miss this session. I'm going to be showing you some things. If you're looking at maybe starting a career in tech or exploring opportunities beyond the bedside, I'm going to be sharing some things with you in the next 10, 15 minutes. I will be out of here. So please stay with me. Do not go. And in the next 60 seconds, please grab a glass of water, grab a glass of juice, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, everyone. I hope you were able to grab a glass of juice before joining us again. All right, before I go into my session, just look at that thing on your screen and read it, digest it, and internalize it. The illiterate of the 21st century is not who cannot read or write, it is who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. If that is the only thing you've gotten in tonight's session, I mean, it's something worth getting. So, very quickly, I'm going to be showing us something. And what is it? We've been talking about how to go into tech, the step by step process you need to take. Mr. Dapo has really done justice to that. Ms. Inem has shown us how to, exploring opportunities beyond the bedside. But now, specifically for people who want to consider a role or who wants to consider a career in tech, I'm going to give you three pathways in tech that you can navigate or that you can take to explore career in the tech industry. I'm going to show you three pathways with which you can get into tech. How many pathways? Three pathways. You're going to be done in the next few minutes now. I'm going to show you three pathways that you can take or that you can explore to start or to commence a career in tech. The number one pathway is I call it the service provider pathway. I call it the service provider pathway. What does that mean? As a service provider, what that means is that of course, you can be a nurse, you can remain a nurse, you can still practice as a bedside nurse, and then you have a particular skill that you've learned or that you've gotten somewhere and you are ready to deploy that skill into making more money or penetrating the tech industry. I'm going to give you examples. The service provider pathway means that you have a tech skill, you have an expertise in tech, and you are ready to deploy that expertise in penetrating the tech industry, making more money, building more connections, and gaining more relevance. Right now, an example of that is as a nurse. Look at Mr. Dapo. Mr. Dapo is a perfect model of what a service provider means. He has learned the skill of web development. He has learned the skill of SEO development. He has learned the skill of technical writing, and he has been able to deploy this skill on different levels while still practicing as a registered nurse. So with these skills that he has been able to, of course, make more money. He has been able to make more connections, and if he decides to leave if he decides to leave nursing completely today, he is good to go. Now, this is a pathway. If you are considering leaving the tech industry, the healthcare industry, and you want to go fully into tech, you can migrate into tech as a service provider. And as a service provider, you can work offline and you can work online. Working offline is probably you get employed by a tech organization where you are working full time. And of course, you can work online, probably as a freelancer, as someone who offers services online while still doing your full-time nursing job. So if you are seeking to navigate opportunities beyond the bedside, this is one pathway you can take, the service provider pathway. The second pathway, very quickly, is someone says, I'm learning but can't wait to receive my gift. Don't worry, you'll get it in the next 5 minutes. We're out of here. Now, the second pathway is the innovators pathway. Now, in the service provider pathway, what you need is a skill, right, to get into tech. You need a tech skill to get into tech. But as an innovator, going through the innovator pathway, you necessarily do not need the tech skill per se. You necessarily do not need the tech skill. What you need to explore this pathway is an idea. What you need is an idea. And how does that apply? Probably you saw a problem, You were able to think and come up with a solution for that particular problem. Now, with that solution that you've came up with, you were able to form a team of people that can help you bet your idea to life, that can help you to curate and to develop that idea to life. For instance, there's a particular telemedicine or telehealth platform called Mobi Health Africa that is being built by Dr. Fumi Adewara. Dr. Fumi Adewara is a medical doctor, right? But then she was able to identify a problem. She was able to identify a challenge that okay, there are some telemedicine or telehealth services that are not reaching people in the remote area. Now, she saw that problem and she came up with an idea. She came up with a feasible solution, gathered people that could help her build that solution, and she built Mobile Health Africa. Today, in Nigeria, in Africa, even in the United States, if you are talking about telehealth, if you are talking about health technology, if you are talking about digital health, Dr. Fumi Adewara is a force to reckon with. How did she get into tech? An idea. She found a problem, developed a solution, deployed the solution. Now, the act of looking for a problem and solving that problem is not something I can teach you in this webinar, right? Now, that is another symposium discussion on its own, right? But just know that if you're looking to move into tech, this is another area you can explore. And lastly, the last area you can explore, or the last pathway you can take to get into tech as a healthcare professional or as a registered nurse is the academic route or academic pathway. And what does this simply mean? Going through the academic pathway means that you can simply finish your degree in nursing, BNSC, BSc, or anything as you may call it, and go for an advanced or specialized study in some areas that synchronize healthcare with technology. For example, nursing informatics. Another example, healthcare informatics. Another example, bioinformatics. There are a lot of specialties today. Well, not a lot of them, but there are a number of specialties today that you can go into as a registered nurse that will automatically push you into the tech industry, right? So if you know that, oh, well, you can't start learning a skill now, or, well, you don't really have an idea, or you don't know how to spot a problem to solve, and you feel like, okay, you are an academic person and you are looking to explore, opportunities in the tech space, you can consider the academic route. Finish your BSc, go for nursing informatics, go for healthcare informatics. And what are the opportunities in that area? The opportunities is that you automatically become a stakeholder when it comes to digital health because you already possess a specialized knowledge, right? So when Nigeria creates a ministry for digital health and they are looking for people to function in that ministry, they are looking for heads, brilliant people to function in that ministry, you become one of the persons they will consider for that kind of post, for that kind of seat, and a lot of other opportunities in that area. So these are the three main ways which you can take to explore the tech pathway if you are looking to transit into the tech area. I hope we got something. I really wish we had more time so that I can actually break it down very well. But then with this little one, I think we really got something, right? So we have gradually come to the end of this session, but wait, we've not come to the end. I promised you a gift before we started. I promised you a gift before we started this session. So now, here is the gift. If you are a healthcare practitioner, a registered nurse, health information manager, medical doctor, pharmacist, and you are looking to transit or to explore, like really, 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 like you're very serious about it, not like you're just something. And you're looking to explore opportunities or you're looking to transit into the tech industry. This is something for you. Just look at my screen right now. Ooh, I hope it could be bigger than this. I hope it could be bigger than this. But if you can see my screen, Okay, I'm going to take questions after, but now just look at my screen first. Um, on my screen, you could see mentorship program. There's a mentorship program that is currently being that is going to be organized by Premier Academy, right? Premier Academy is a digital literacy academy in Nigeria that looks to empower healthcare professionals and support them in having a smooth transition from bedside into tech, right? Now, Premier Academy is organizing a mentorship program tagged Starting a Career in Tech for healthcare professionals. And in this mentorship program, what are the things we are going to do? What are the things you're going to have access to? Number one is you'll be able to identify the tech role that best suits you most. Mr. Dapo was trying to tell us the other time that there are different kind of tech specialties, and you can't do everything. There is one that is specific to you. There is one that your capacity and ability can, contain, and you can really excel at. For instance, if I kind of person that likes that like seeing colors, that like combining shapes, that like aesthetics. You can begin to consider tech skills like graphic design, tech skills like UI UX design, tech skills like front end web design. If you're a kind of person that loves mathematics, you like to do statistics, you like to do calculations, you like to do all of those things, you can begin to consider tech skills like data analytics, tech skills like data science, tech skills like machine learning, programming using Python. Now, these are in this mentorship program, we will help you to identify which tech skill best suits you most. Also, we will help you to get started with that tech skill of your choice, right? It's a mentorship program. So we're going to be holding your hand, showing you the steps to take, what exactly to do, and we help you to get started with the tech skill of your choice. Number three, we are going to also help you gain access to learning resources, learning material that are sufficient enough to get you started in that tech skill or in that specialty you've chosen, right? We're going to provide these materials for you to get started. Also, we are going to show you how to access premium content, premium resources with certifications, courses and trainings that are worth over 100 USD. We are going to show you how to access it for free and how to get access to your certificate, right? After taking all of these trainings. This is another thing you are going to be getting in this mentorship program. And we are going to also connect you with mentors, with experts in your chosen field who can show you what to do at some point when you get stuck, right? We're going to connect you with mentors. We are going to connect you with communities. Nos Inem talked about, networking, expanding your network, being in a community that supports where you are going. It is key to understand that your current ceiling or your current aspiration is someone's minimum standard. That thing you are aspiring for, your current goal is someone minimum standard. In a more relatable way, your ceiling, I mean the ceiling you are looking at, that thing, that top you want to get to is someone baseline. Now we are going to bring these people that have been there, that have done that, that are doing it. We are going to connect you with them so that, of course, you can learn from them, see how they transited, see what they are doing, and they will help you to also gain opportunities in this area. Also, you're going to get access to communities of like minds which will facilitate your growth in this area you are just about to navigate into, right? So this mentorship program is going to be starting by November. Today's 29. November is just in a few days. So I think it's going to be starting on the 13th of November. If you are interested in this mentorship session, it's going to run for 5 weeks. If you are interested in this mentorship session, just go right to the link on your screen. Let me type the link here. just go right to the link and do well to register for this mentorship program. It's going to run for 5 weeks. Okay, I'm trying to pull up the link now. All right, so just that's the link right there. That's the link right there. Just go right to that link, click on the link, log into the link, submit your details, read the description on the form very well, and book your seats for this mentorship session. We are going to be taking only 15 people. We are taking only 15 people, and right now we have a number of persons that are registering already. So please just go there quickly, pick your seats, register. It is just 10,000 naira, just 10,000 naira, just 10,000 naira. Go right there, pay into the account details that is provided on the form, bring your upload your evidence of payment or send it to the number that is provided on the form, and of course your seats have been booked in this mentorship training. Of course, there's also option to pay instrumentally, right? You can pay 5,000 naira now, and during the course of the training or of the mentorship, you can pay the balance of 5,000 naira. So please go right there, go to the link, and get your seats booked. All right, all right, all right. Right now, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining us in tonight's webinar. I hope we've not wasted your time. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've upgraded your knowledge, you've updated your knowledge, and so let me just say this last thing for you. It is not enough to come for webinars like this, right? It is not enough to hear everything, get the ideas, get all those things. That's not enough. The change is not in knowledge alone, right? The change or the transformation or the progress comes from the action you take after getting the knowledge. So after this webinar tonight, as you go out of this webinar, go to your jotter, go to your journal, list what you will stop doing this evening and list what you want to start doing based on the information you've gotten from this webinar. I hope you've been able to learn something. And at this time, I would like to say thank you to our guest once again, Mr. Dapo. Thank you so much. Let me add you back in here. Mr. Dapo, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Dr. Inem, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate. And we are so grateful to have you. So once again, everyone, this is Side Class, and there are still going to be subsequent webinars. There are still going to be subsequent time to interact. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night rest.